Another day to impress, another day to excel. It's Derby County in the Premier League, and it's going better than it probably should be. Welcome back, viewers, to an episode of Saving Derby County with me, DoctorBenjy FM. Send me to YouTube land. Why does it always take that extra second there to look? We'll never know. We'll never know. We start on chances created because we're still top of that little tree. And no, we're not second in the league table. That would have been impressive. We are in a respectable 11th. Now, the crucial thing, of course, this season is to stay surviving in the Premier League. And today, I thought we'd test it once again. We played Tottenham and Chelsea last time. 2 games that I think you very much enjoyed, but 2 games we didn't win. In fact, we lost both. And today, I thought I'd give myself a bit more of a challenge in a way. We are currently level on points, 22 points with a few teams actually. Manchester United is one of them. We play them today. And then their big brother, which I really enjoy being called, Manchester City, to come after that as well. So a Manchester double header. And that brings us to the fixture list there, where you can see since our last results, a defeat to Southampton, defeat to Wolves, and defeat to Liverpool. That had me nervous until we turned things around really well with a win against Wolves, a demolition of Burnley. They got a late goal, but we really looked good in that one. 2-0 defeat to Newcastle. They're good now, so, you know, accept that a little bit. Brighton was a 3-3. All the action really in the first half, then a late Zaha goal. He's been interesting, Zaha. We'll talk about him in a minute. Now, Everton was a 1-1. Tom Lawrence scoring in that one before a 3-0 win versus Leicester. And you can see, by the way, Chukwuemeka scoring goals. And he looks so much better with upward arrows, doesn't he? Before, more recently, a 2-0 defeat to Arsenal. Skamaka with a really, really good couple of goals as well. It was just, they were too hot to handle at the Emirates. But now, 2 home games then at Pride Park. Is it still called Pride Park? It is. They still call, I think they did sort of half change name a little bit, but to me it'll always be Pride Park. Manchester United and Manchester City. But let's talk about Zaha. Now, frustratingly, Wilf can't play probably either of the games today. We're around that busy Christmas period, by the way, where we've got 2 games in very back-to-back systematic situations. It's very scary. But Wilfried Zaha is basically having the exact type of season I expected him to have. 8 goals in 16, a constant threat for us, but has these games where you forget he exists. This recent run is what I want to show you. A 6.9 against Newcastle, an 8.9 versus Brighton, a 6.6 versus Everton, and a 7.2 versus Leicester. It's a very up and down time for Wilf, and you can actually see that as much as he has these real like standout breakout performances almost at the age of 30, 31, he went on this run here, which you can kind of see just above me up there somewhere, where he like didn't put in a good performance for a long time and was carried by a 9.2. So when I say his performances are fleeting, they really are. But when he turns up, we're so good. I wish he'd just do it more often. Team-wise then, going into this game against United, it leaves us not really in too much of a problem, actually. Elias Chair has been really good for us this year, so we'll keep him out on the left-hand side, Dingana on the other, with Will Hughes, Lawrence and Loftus-Cheek through the middle. I'm trying to keep things a little bit fresh. Chukwuemeka is struggling a little bit for fitness. Nathan Byrne, I'm expecting to play against City because I think his athleticism will be a little bit more important. The rest of the side is kind of, as you say, as you'd expect. People will say we need a goalkeeper, which I thought was interesting. Like, even though we've got Raya, we could do with someone slightly better. I think so far this season, all things considered, he's done a pretty good job. When you look at the goals scored for Derby this season, we are right up there, the 5th highest goal scorers. And in the goals against, it's kind of where you'd expect to be as a newly promoted side without loads of defensive acquisitions. So I don't feel too bad about it. Let's see, though, how we get on against Manchester United. They're not as bad as the league table probably suggests. Sarri is their current manager. I know, weird. Harry Maguire's out injured, which is again is a big plus point for them. But they're still pretty good. That, I admit, is very weird. I don't like it one bit. I also don't think it really makes them any better. Right then, home game against them. Let's see how we fare. I'm really curious to see what the starting 11 for them will be. And again, we have to bear in mind that we play Manchester City shortly after this. If there's an opportunity to rest players, either because we're winning or losing, we probably have to try and take that a little bit in some key areas. There then is the United lineup. I don't know what system they're playing. I kind of want to see. I'll just do the team talk. We've got nothing to lose there. God, give it your best. The system-wise there, they're playing a 4-3-3. Sancho one side, Rashford the other, Ronaldo through the middle. They're not fully fit for this in defensive areas, but they're still pretty strong. Yeah, it makes me nervous. I like the fact Lazari's there. That's purely because Sarri's gone. I need someone who's got a similar name to me and Italian. I must have them here. All right then, here we go. This is where things hopefully get tasty. Look, this is the sort of game I would love us to win. it would set a marker down to the rest of the league a little bit to say that even against these top sides, we can do it. We were so close against both Chelsea and against Tottenham, and it didn't quite pay off. And now, obviously, you're playing Ronaldo, so you have to be nervous as the ball drilled across. It's a brilliant bit of defending from excellent Marvin, and that's what makes him so excellent, viewers. All right, very quickly, though, they've still got a corner played in. Will Hughes gets it rid. And by the way, I've set the attacking wingers to be forward from corners. We don't have to change it today. I've finally twigged on. It's definitely helps us in some defensive situations. Not quite that one, though, as Clara goes very close. All right, from that corner, we're actually going to try and work something out. And again, possession, crucial for us, keeping it, understanding it. That's why Will Hughes has become that bit more important in this side. His composure and things like that are just making the difference against the sides that we're a bit closer to in terms of quality. He really comes to the fore. Obviously, in a game like this against United, it's going to be difficult for him to impose himself. That the United midfield is obviously very, very capable. As they launch it forward. Now, when they've got Ronaldo, he's quite good aerially, as Alex has sort of barged off it, but excellent Marvin there on the cover to deal with it. And again, now, building from the back as Will Hughes, again, that composure on the ball. That's what I'm going to try and focus on. Gets it again, lays it off quickly. Oh, the speed in which we're moving here. Diang's in. Diang scores. It's such a beautiful goal. You know, how can you can't defend it? There are so many players in that central area popping the ball off, and this is the crucial bit, right? Because of the connection they all have for one another, they all understand it. The one-touch passing in there, Chair lays it into Diang on his left foot, just drills it under De Gea. I don't know what De Gea's doing. He doesn't even hit it that hard. It's horrendous goalkeeping. We lead 1-0. The two wingers combine as well, sitting slightly narrower, just holding the ball, ready to spring at any point. There's offensive players through the middle, causing all sorts of bother. We're half an hour in. I've got to praise them. It's been a really good start. And if it carries on like this, like passes completed, both sides are having a very similar amount, a very even game right now. Neither able to stamp their authority on it fully. As a set piece has been played in, we have to be prepared to try and defend this. Marcus Rashford back out to Lazari on that side. The runners, Ronaldo's there. Always a problem, but defended brilliantly. Alex does very, very well. And Raya in goal holds on to it. And again, now it's a case of building from the back, not getting too ahead of ourselves towards a 5'3" man in Elias Chair. Gets the header, but not particularly accurately. And again, United now have to try and pick our way through a very compact midfield, of course. They go all the way out to De Gea. We want De Gea, as we've talked about many times, right, to launch it forward. We don't want them to try and work something creative. There's too much technical quality in this United side. Sancho got a bit of an injury as well. I don't know how long we'll see him for, but he's looking pretty good right now. Not a huge amount of options in the box for United. He's going to have to put a brilliant ball in. There's Rashford. Heads it wide. It wasn't a great quality chance for them. Another chance, though, just before half-time. Lazari, Lukaku's there to head away. And we're set quite well, actually, for a counter here. As Diang nabs it, and they're going to have to chase him down. They're not going to catch him. Diang's in for two. They're going to have to foul him, surely. Oh, it's almost one of those situations where he's had too much time to think about what he's doing. He just needed to go and shoot in a similar way to last time. He couldn't do it. Corner to be played in. Oh, one of the most stupid mechanics in Football Manager. What is that? But leading at the break, and actually, they're pushing us back quite deep right now, which is quite interesting. We're not having a huge amount of the play, which is pretty standard for us. We don't often have the most amount of possession, but it's the high quality of chance that we can create at any given moment, and they've had very few of those. We've had a lot of shots on target again. We're definitely in the game. It's the home side. This is all we can really ask for. All right, I'm going to praise them again. Out for the second half. 55 minutes gone. Things are looking up for us. We go to 8th in the league table if we win here. We have to try and learn from the lessons we'd had previously, though, as United are picking up bookings all over the place. The game is not in a... Right, we talked about I'll pause it at 69 because we might want to make a change here. Although, do I not make a change to try and make a point? I don't know. We're not in a strong enough position to take players off in either case, really, to rest them for future games. This is the 3 points I would love to get. I don't think I change anything for now. I think making us a little bit more defensive towards the back end might be good. I'm sort of just letting this game play out a little bit. What we've seen from United based on highlights is actually very little. So I don't necessarily want to just like force a change that's not necessarily needed. Oh, Lukaku, if he could have played the ball through there, by the way, we might have been in. Alex, lovely switch of play to Diang now as the bodies are piling into the centre. There's Bulldog. George Bulldog with a finish. Wow! What a finish from the edge of the penalty area. Derby 2, Manchester United 0. It's the right, of course it's the right. It's always the right back in this system. What a finish that is, though. Diang, hold up play, could try and burst into the penalty area, but it's not what he's designed to do. Lays it off to George Bulldog, who just drills one into the bottom corner. The temptation now to go more defensive and to see this out is very, very strong indeed. Let's instead just alter how we're playing ever so slightly, a little bit wider to give us a little bit more space, lower the tempo though. I don't think we necessarily have to go nearly as attacking as you were doing. I think regrouping and sitting back a little bit is probably the way forward. Everything else, I don't really want to tamper with, to be honest. And these fullbacks, inverted wing back on defend at this point, Lukaku on defend as well. I don't want there to be countless amounts of space in the centre. I also think, and we'll do it in just a moment, it's worth putting a focal point up at the top as well, just to try and disrupt the centre-backs from having too much of it. Again, I don't love that I'm making a substitution, but it probably feels worth it. I think Danny Welbeck is the man to bring on. Tom Lawrence is to step out then, as we're just going to try and shut this down. Hopefully we don't become a bit conventional. Hopefully United don't become a team that suddenly want to try. Both wingers as well. We're just going to set to be more supportive so they can help out defensively. Just that little bit. Trying to learn the lessons of previous, right? As we praise the team as well, give them that extra boost towards the end of the game. And it seems, while doing some sensible things, we shut it down. What a win that is. It's Derby 2, Manchester United 0. Wow, and deserved as well. United had, what, a couple of chances? Proud of that performance. You're damn right. That's why it's Pride Park, viewers. That was sensational. Goodness, Wayne, what would Wayne make of that? Wayne must be loving that. So up to 8th then, you're 3 points ahead of United. We play City next. Can we do a Manchester double? Surely not. All right, 3 days before our next game. If I can play most of that team again, I'll try. We're going to rest them for 2 days. They're going to get Christmas off, and we'll see them again for the game against City in just a moment. Another home game at Pride Park. Make me proud. That's a headline, isn't it? That is a headline. Dean Smith sacked by Norwich. Wouldn't have seen it coming. Wowzers. Do you think they'll want me? Do you think Chelsea want me to come and... Do they want to play strikerless? I mean, they've been doing it for a while with Lukaku, so, you know, give it a whirl. All right, Boxing Day is the day as we face off then against the City side that are way off Liverpool's pace right now. 10 points behind, locked in the battle with Arsenal and Everton right now. Leeds not too far behind either. It's a quite nice retro look to the top of the table right there. Okay, let's see then. Team-wise, how are we looking for fitness after that rest? It looks pretty good. I was going to play Nathan Byrne. Chukwuemeka was going to come in. We're still going to do that because of how good he's been recently. He replaces Loftus-Cheek. He was pretty quiet in the win against United, but did a good enough job. And Zaha, not quite fit enough to come back into the side. But the way we played right there gives me a lot to be hopeful about. The January transfer window is on the horizon. We've got 6 million to spend if we want to. Budget-wise then, 45 million in the bank. There's probably a world where the board go, here's a little bit more money if you want it. Is there a potential? And this is brave to say before playing City. Is there a potential European dream on the horizon? Who knows? We're about to play, not Pep's. Wow, okay. It's Allegri, for those that haven't noticed, but no longer Guardiola. Can we give those boys a bit of a seeing to? I mean, this is going to be hard, obviously. City are actually quite good. Jesus, Foden, Vinicius Jr. in the side, Christian Eriksen as well. Yeah, good. They're really good. No Kevin De Bruyne, though. Well, Tom Lawrence is basically the same thing, so he's still on the pitch in a way. All right, then. And we, of course, playing a strikerless system that just seems to do the job. Hopefully, Will Hughes will be able to stamp a bit of authority onto this one. As you can see there, then, for Manchester City, that's the lineup, a 4-4-2. I don't think I've played against the 4-4-2 this year. I don't think we played against it in the Championship. Okay, well, I'm curious. It's a midfield 2 versus my midfield 3, and those wingers have got a little bit of space to move into. I can't imagine Vinicius Jr. and Raheem Sterling playing particularly defensive in this type of system. So, yeah, strap yourselves in, viewers. I don't know what's about to happen. We've got a yellow card. We're about half an hour in. It's the only thing to speak of. It's obviously been a bit of a midfield battle. The only thing that would be bad if he gets sent off, obviously, going down to 10 men against the City side that, despite probably not as possession-based as normal. That looks like Kevin De Bruyne. It's Christian Eriksen. Very similar hair. I was very confused. I thought he's not on the pitch. Anyway, Vinicius Jr., playing back to Cancelo. And you realise when you play a team like City, there is just like endless amounts of technical quality that you have to try and contend with. And they're 2 in midfield are probably better than my 3, which is maybe a bit harsh to my boys, but it does feel a little bit like that at times. As this is the first highlight we've seen all game, so we're definitely going to talk through it. And it's interesting to see the patience that City are having to play with. The options to pass into midfield seem relatively limited. As Eriksen, he's quite deep. It doesn't matter, does it? Phil Foden's in, and it's that simple. The referee's calling it back for offside. I'll say now, I don't think it was offside. It was very, very close. If he is, he's like a shoulder off. As the goal has been awarded. Yeah, I don't know. It didn't look offside to me, as Christian Eriksen deploying in that deeper role. It looks offside, if I'm honest. I don't know if they're going to show you the reverse angle, but his body shape looks like he's offside. So I am kind of curious to see if that is the case. They're going to show the lines here as it's played forwards. I guess he's not. And I guess if you look at 2D as well, which I think that will not work. If you look at 2D, he's nowhere near offside. So I guess it's one of those things. We're going to put that on director. You can see there, no, he's on. He can't. There's no complaints from me. Fair enough. Fair enough. Ball played forwards. It's a really good finish from Foden, by the way. Imagine him in the attacking midfield role. That is a dream. Corner, City played in and cleared away. Blimey, a little bit helter-skelter from us at the back. John Stones as well. The attack's not over just yet. There's Bernardo Silva. You can see, can't you, just by the way City play, and we're not dissimilar to this really, that it's so movement dependent. If the players in front don't make the attacking movements required, City don't have any options because of the way they're playing. It's quite grid-like, this 4-4-2. They need immense amounts of movement, and they're finding it in behind right now. Too much space, too much time. There's a temptation to not have my inverted wingbacks attack, but then we give up sort of all attacking emphasis. My two wingers are having a really, really difficult time getting into this game at all. There is something we can maybe try to force them into this a little bit, because neither of them right now are involved at all. We're at half time. Let's have a think. We've been pushed back quite a lot. City are having certainly the best of it. We need to change something. Right, that wasn't very good. Now, it's all about who I've got on the bench, really, and the options that are available to me. And I'm wondering if we could take Dangana off for Ruben Loftus-Cheek and play him in Elias Chair in shadow striker roles. Now, it's something me and the creator of this tactic, or version 1 of this tactic, we should say, has definitely evolved it since then. Matt Blanco have talked about, if you're having no success out wide, why not try and force a mass overload in the centre, even more than we've got before? I know what you're thinking. Aren't they all just going to run into each other? Let's have a look. I've not used it yet. I've not pulled it out at any stage, but I feel like in a game at City, which is very even, but with so little impact from our wide players, we're almost worth just trying to tinker a little bit, trying something they're not used to playing against, and seeing how that goes. As a throw-in, the breakdown here may well go City's way. Eriksen, Cancelo, into Vinicius Jr. as the shot flies in. Like, we just give him too much time. When it comes from a throw-in as well, it's not like we've been outworked necessarily. It's just they've reacted better to the situation and we really haven't. Like, you think about how he's found the space. It's quite smart, isn't it? And the finish from there as well is supreme. It's like Tom Lawrence in the Championship. All right, 2-0 down. This is kind of what we expected. What's been frustrating so far is we've not really showcased anything. We've not shown ourselves to be a team that can be dealt with. We've shown ourselves to be a team that can be dealt with. A team that can deal out something at the same time. We've sort of just sat back and let City do whatever they want, which is not ideal. As again, they're working it back a little bit. It might be the time that you play strikers, but John Stones there sort of sums it up. His ability on the ball from a defensive area just makes it a lot harder to press them and to be active in their sort of defensive third. Grealish works his way through. There's Phil Foden. The ball pops up brilliantly for them, frankly. 3-0. This is kind of what we expected. I didn't think it'd be this painful, though. All right, having a look at this. 20 minutes to go. We haven't really created anything. I think because of how disappointing the midfield have been, Loftus-Cheek's moved back into there. Chukwuemeka's going to come off. We're going to bring on Danny Welbeck. The problem is I wish I had... I guess Adam Armstrong's the guy for Chet. We're just going to put them up as strikers. I feel like we might as well. One a bit taller, one with a bit more pressing intensity, as we've got ourselves a corner before those subs happen. As Alex, well, if he scores that, who knows what could have happened. We're just not in the game at all. They've had 200 more passes. They've not been like scintillating, but they've just been super efficient with what they've been doing, and it's managed to shut down what we're doing. Again, we've brought on some strikers, just a little change of attack. As Loftus-Cheek at the back post, off the bar. It's nice to see us do some attacking, but we've really been forced back. We've been asked to do a lot of defending. We haven't really been able to impact like their four, as in the defensive two, and the midfield just in front of that, and they've been able to work it around us quite nicely. And again, with the overload we thought we had at the start of this, okay, well, Rodri can do that, which doesn't seem fair. Yeah, we've just not been at it. This is, of all the matches I've played so far, this has been the best team I've played just from the highlights that I've seen. Like even Liverpool, we had a bit more about them. It's like they gave us a few more opportunities, much like real life it feels like, right? There's a little bit more risk reward for them. Will Hughes into Armstrong. Again, the runners from midfield will always give us options, and it sort of forces, it's been quite interesting actually, it sort of forces their centre two to run back and defend as well as Armstrong. Some good hold-up play. Tom Lawrence still defending for that clean sheet at City. They want the money. Tom Lawrence to swing a ball in then late on. But yeah, some lessons to be learned here. I'm definitely going to deep dive into this after this game and figure out where it's gone wrong. It might take me half an hour though, and then I'll bring you the results next episode. But frustrating. Welbeck, Danny Welbeck. Is that a goal? Is that counting? It is counting. Will Hughes has done brilliantly. They've thrown it in. Will Hughes has nabbed it and crossed it. A wonderful delivery towards Danny Welbeck, and not a particularly good throw in, it must be said. Great delivery from Will Hughes, and the first time finish from Danny Welbeck. As a former Manchester United player, he'll have enjoyed that, and they won't get their money for the clean sheet. So everyone wins. As there we are then. Derby 1, Manchester United 4. But yeah, we're never really in this. I think I could have played any system there, and they probably would have beat me. All right, we sit 10th then. United have won their game against Aston Villa, so they are right back with us on 25 points. But if you'd have given me this at the start of the year, halfway through it, we're at the halfway point right now then. 25 points. I'd have taken it. It looks like survival is very much possible. What will we do in January, though? That's the question. Will we be able to do anything? I'll see you tomorrow to find out. We love you with care. Goodbye. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like on it. Come on.